After you hear the testimony from this woman, I am sure this is going to change a lot of Kamala's biggest supporters' minds. You guys have got to check this out.
Kamala. I like her, and I'm a Democrat.
And why do you like her?
Because she will be a good female president, and I would love to have a good female president for the U.S.
And what do you think she'll do good for our country?
She'll actually help our country more than Donald Trump would do, because she is smart and she's more reliable.
And what do you think are some exact things she'd do?
She'll do lower income and lower taxes.
So she'd lower everyone's income?
Yes.
Is that a good thing?
That is a good thing.
What do you think about Donald Trump?
Donald Trump is the worst president in the whole wide world.
How come?
Because he hurt the Capitol building and he started World War III.
But polling shows that some black men, particularly young black men, are considering voting for Donald Trump, and they see him as better for the economy. What is your message to young black male voters who feel left out of this economy, and how can your economic policies materially change their lives?
So I appreciate the spirit of the question, but I'll tell you, I've often been asked this question in a way that I've had to respond by first saying that I think it's very important to not operate from the assumption that black men are in anybody's pocket. Black men are like any other voting group. You got to earn their vote. So I'm working to earn the vote, not assuming I'm going to have it because I am black, but because the policies and the perspectives I have understands what we must do to recognize the needs of all communities.
Ooh-wee, things just keep getting worse and worse for Kamala Harris, as they should. Hopefully they get 1,000,000 times more worse come November 5th when Donald Trump sweeps it at the election and we get him back in that White House. But I want you to take a look at this story that happened in 2012 where Kamala actually threatened this struggling black mother whose daughter is suffering from sickle cell anemia and she couldn't send her to school, but yet Kamala sent out a warrant for this lady's arrest. But she won't keep that same energy when it comes to illegal aliens, and anybody that goes along by pushing her crooked agenda, she won't prosecute them. But regular everyday families that are struggling just to get by, struggling through this economy and just all out chaos and stress, oh, she'll go above and beyond to make them suffer even more. I want you to see just how Kamala really gets down, and then let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Let's get it poppin'.
To fight for Black Lives Matters. I intend to fight.
If Black Lives matter to her, why didn't I matter?
I don't agree what Kamala Harris did to my mom, and I don't agree with what she's done to other parents as well.
My message to all Americans, especially Black Americans, do not trust Kamala Harris.
I'm so proud of you right now. Because you walked all the way down here and I wasn't expecting you to walk.
My daughter, Shayla, suffers from sickle cell anemia, a chronic, painful genetic disease.
As a prosecutor and law enforcement, I have a huge stick.
It's a very sharp stabbing pain and it hurts a whole lot. Like from my chest all the way down, it hurts, including my side.
So I decided I was going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
When Kamala Harris was the California Attorney General, she had me arrested and prosecuted because my handicapped daughter was sick in the hospital and had missed some days of school.
I spent a majority of my time here at the hospital.
Let me get this straight. The daughter is missing a couple days of school because she's got sickle cell. That is a very serious issue, and the mom's taking her out of school so that she get the proper medical care. And Kamala was going after the mother for truancy because the daughter missed a couple days. I have not heard the whole story yet, but if this is as it seems, and Kamala actually did this, then she's got a lot of explaining to do. Because when I have a kid, if they are suffering with something like this, and the choice is go to school and suffer or go to the hospital and seek the proper medical care, that it won't even be a discussion. She will be out of the school.
Hurt mothers like me and the Black community. My name is Sheree Peoples, and this is my story. I am a single mother. I've worked as a certified nursing assistant and a caregiver. My daughter Shayla was born in 2002. When she was born, she was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia. It affects all major organs in the body and also causes extreme pain. Her whole life, she has been on medications like morphine and Dilaudid to help her control the pain. In addition, she had to undergo blood transfusions every 3 weeks. My lifestyle became taking care of her almost full time. It is pretty typical for kids with Shayla disability to miss a lot of school.
I just got out of school. I've done 3 full days this week. Oh, I'm so tired.
And for years, the teachers were aware of her condition and her absences were all excused. California schools get their state and federal funding based off of average daily attendance. Schools are paid about $30 per student per day.
In San Francisco, we threatened the parents of truants with prosecution.
I first heard of Kamala Harris when she got elected California Attorney General.
We are putting parents on notice. We are going to make sure that you face the full force and consequences of the law.
She wrote a report saying truancy was costing California schools $1.4 billion a year in funding.
Because of truancy, California public schools lose $1.4 billion a year in funding. I want money.
Kamala then wrote a law making it criminal for parents if their kids miss school time. Kamala even wrote a book called Smart on Crime.
You can read an excerpt from the book that she just plugged shamelessly. It's called Smart on Crime.
Talking about arresting parents for truancy.
I sent a letter on my letterhead out to every parent in the public school system.
In 2012, like all California parents, I received a threatening letter from Kamala Harris saying we'll go to jail for a year if our kids even miss 10% of school days. It was like a crazy intimidation tactic.
I'm going to start prosecuting parents for truancy.
I thought, wow, this woman doesn't have any empathy. Is it because she's not a mother? I also thought, how could she not understand it would disproportionately affect people of color, single Black mothers? But honestly, I didn't imagine it could affect me. Her teachers had her medical records from the Children's Hospital. I even had a 504 plan, which was an agreement between the school district and the parents to provide care for students with disabilities.
You don't think that little girl wants to be in school? She would kill to be able to have that opportunity to play with her friends, to learn new things, instead of sitting in a hospital bed. It's not like she's off going to the arcade, having some fun with some friends. She's dealing with a colossal issue in her life, and she's doing her absolute best. And the mother doesn't really have many options to call upon. She's a single mother. She probably doesn't have that many resources. She said her life revolves around helping the daughter. How does Kamala Harris not envision this as a possibility? Does this thought not even pop into her head?
2013, in the morning, I'm in my pajamas. I had just fed my daughter, gave her medications, sent her off to school. Little did I know, there was a warrant out for my arrest. All of a sudden, the police is outside my house, and they started banging on the door. I opened up my door, and 2 officers entered my home. They told me I was under arrest for my child missing school. They said I was going to jail. I was shocked. I said, but my baby is sick. The school knows that. And they said, go talk to Kamala Harris. Place your hands behind your back.
My mom did nothing wrong. We did everything we were supposed to. I was always bringing doctor's notes, always calling the school to let them know that I was in the hospital.
Then they handcuff me. So they take me outside for what you call a perp walk. And oh my God, the TV news was there. The newspapers were there. You could swear I had killed somebody. It was degrading and humiliating. I was taken to the Criminal Justice Center. They took my mugshot. I was fingerprinted like a criminal, and I was terrified.
And it felt like I caused her so much pain. Because in reality, it is because of me, even though I know it's not directly my fault. Sorry.
The next day, the Orange County Register showed the pictures of my arrest. They even had a close-up picture of my hands in handcuffs to show here's a black mother being arrested.
It was a truancy rate at over 2.5 times that of white students.
Everyone knew most truant kids were black. I think Kamala Harris wanted me as an example to threaten other single black mothers, naming me and other black single mothers like Toya Daniels, who got arrested the same day. But my hell was just beginning. They gave me 2 charges: failure to supervise and encourage school attendance, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. I couldn't believe it. They framed my daughter as a gang member and basically charged me with neglect. I spent the next 2 years in court fighting these charges. Kamala assigned her nastiest prosecutors to my case.
My homicide prosecutors, my gang prosecutors. And they went over there and I said, when you go over there, look really mean.
Like 10 different prosecutors. They kept pressuring me to plead guilty and spend a year in jail. But I kept refusing because I did nothing wrong. All the time I had to spend going to court, I was struggling to care for my Shayla. I lost my job and couldn't pay rent, and we got evicted. I became homeless. We had to move into a motel.
And I ended up being in the hospital a lot during her trial. And in that hospital stay was when I had my stroke.
I had a stroke about 4 or 5 days ago, and right now I'm doing pretty good. My hand is doing okay, I guess.
In 2015, after 2 years, they finally just gave up and dismissed my case. In 2018, the Supreme Court of California ruled that truancy cannot be punished by incarceration. It was unconstitutional. The courts finally stopped Kamala Harris' abuses. When I look back, I ask, why did Kamala Harris arrest me? Why was Kamala Harris so insensitive to a black woman with a handicapped child? Well, first, I learned that Kamala Harris has no common experience with black people. She grew up with an Indian mother. I remember she kept saying she was Indian.
To become the first Indian senator in U.S. history, which would be quite an accomplishment.
Not good.
What we're gonna cook today is an Indian recipe.
Yes.
Because you are Indian.
Yes.
And I learned she grew up in Canada, not in the United States, and went to a wealthy high school. I think in Canada, she must not have been exposed to American values, which respects the rights of individuals. When Kamala Harris ran for president in 2019, they asked her about arresting people like me, and she just lied her ass off.
The truancy program got a lot of criticism too. Did you actually lock anybody up?
No, we never locked anybody up. We never sent a parent to jail. And no parent went to jail. And we did prosecute some cases, but far few, only about 20.
It's ironic because Kamala helped raise money to bail out murderers, rioters, and thieves. But she thought I belonged in jail because I had a handicapped child.
And the thing is, Kamala 100% knew the details behind this woman, because if you're prosecuting a case and you put your best lawyers on it, you're gonna know the specifics, you're gonna know all the details behind what the defense is gonna argue, what their stance is. And the fact of the matter is, she just went along with it anyway because she doesn't see a problem with it. It just goes to show what kind of a cold heart that this woman has. Because I'm all for law and order, but this is excessive, and this is just disgusting. Especially when you think about it, in 2020, she was bailing out criminals in the Black Lives Matter protests. So she's just gonna do whatever it takes to make her look as good and neat as possible, when in reality, she doesn't really care about her constituents. She's a phony, she's a normal politician. You have to understand, if you were in that exact situation, she would have been doing the exact same to you. Do you want such a weak person like that becoming the president of the United States, acting like a tyrant? I know I don't. And I can guarantee you, if Donald Trump heard about this situation, the type of man he is, he probably would have paid for her entire schooling, her medical bills, and done anything possible to make her life easier. That just goes to show the difference between these two candidates. One person is obsessed with power and control, and the other is just looking out for the everyday average American. This is a no-brainer election to me. But yeah, let me know your thoughts on this down below. If you were in her situation, would you have pled guilty, or would you have just fought this case to the bitter ends? I would have fought this woman tooth and nail. But yeah, let me know your thoughts, and if you enjoyed, make sure to smash that like, comment, subscribe, and wish you guys nothing but the best. Till next time.